Well, you definitely heard me say before that the way heat pumps work is they capture heat from the outside, using refrigerant, transfer that heat to the inside. And when it gets colder, it's tougher for heat pumps to produce that heat. Well, it's warm right now. It's actually 66 degrees, but we need heat inside. Let me tell you why this heat pump actually does not really work well when it's warm outside. Doesn't make sense, does it?
No sales gimmicks, no confusion, just expert advice to help you stay comfortable and save money. And now, the Information for Customer Success show.
So we recently had a customer call us and tell us that their brand new heat pump is not working. It's not heating. And we were, of course, a little concerned because it's a brand new system. But my service manager paused a little bit and said, hey, wait a minute. It's about 65 degrees outside. And what happens is that heat pump turned itself off because that's its lockout, its safety lockout. Now, why did that happen? And by the way, we confirmed by having the customer go turn on the cooling. Cooling worked just fine. And later we did come out and confirm that the heating is working. Temperature actually in the evening started to drop a little bit and the heat pump went back on. So why did it lock out at 65 degrees? Heat pumps rely on a temperature differential, and when it's about, call it 65 inside and 65 outside, we don't have a temperature differential. We don't have a pressure differential. So refrigerant pressures get out of range. The system then can't condense properly, and the heat pumps have a mechanism, a safety mechanism, to lock them out and prevent them from running and, of course, damaging themselves. So each particular unit has a lockout temperature, and most of them range between 60 and 65 degrees. At some point, the unit says, there's not enough temperature differential here for me to run safely and effectively, so it just says, no, I'm not doing anything. I wish a lot of manufacturers had something on the screen that told you that's what's going on, so it kind of eliminates those nuisance service calls. It says too warm for heat pump to operate. That's another conversation we have to have directly with the manufacturers. Okay, but this is counterintuitive. I thought you said when there's heat outside, a heat pump captures it. It's very efficient. Via refrigerant, it transfers that into the indoor unit. We have expansion, we have contraction, and we can get our heating inside while we are capturing heating from the outside. So it doesn't make sense, right? And I get it, and it doesn't make sense. But again, we're talking about that pressure differential. We don't have it. When it's cold outside and you want it warm outside, we're going to have this differential we need to have. And that's what refrigerant is good at. Refrigerant is good at having a pressure differential, therefore absorbing heat or letting heat go. When there's no differential, it's pretty much the same temperature inside as it is outside. That's when the system really cannot work. So as we look at an informational sheet here from a Daikin unit, this is called a submittal, we will see the operating range of this particular heat pump. And quite often we focus on how well does the heat pump work when it's extremely cold outside, and also tells you the limits. This particular unit works all the way down to minus 13 degrees, and we always focus on that number. However, nobody ever looks at that other number. That's 64.4. Well, that is the high limit that I am talking about. So this particular unit, this particular Daikin system, will not be able to heat when it's above 64.4 degrees. Most heat pumps will fall in between the 60 and 70 degree mark outside. That's why I keep mentioning the 65 degrees, because that's sort of an average, but you can see they will vary. When there's no temperature difference, we are in what we call a thermodynamic equilibrium. There is no movement. There's no movement from heat from one object to the next object. That is why your heat pump cannot work. It really is about the transfer of heat. When there's a differential, we can transfer heat. Your air conditioning system, it's hot outside, it's cooler inside. There's a differential. We can transfer heat from the inside to the outside. In heat pump mode, in the winter, it's cold outside, it's hot inside or warmer inside. Therefore, we can transfer that heat. We can move the heat from the outside to the inside. But when our blocks are the same temperature or close to the same temperature, it really minimizes how a heat pump can transfer heat. You turn on heating in the morning, everything's heating fine. All of a sudden, warms up during the day. right? And the heating just stops. And maybe you were like a degree or two off from heating your place properly. The system's not broken. Again, it's built in. It's a built-in mechanism to protect itself. So next time your heat pump is not working when it's warmer outside, pause a little bit. Don't call the service technician. You might be incurring some service call fees and things like that. So, this might save you money. Just look at the temperature outside. What temperature is it? If it's in the 60s or somewhere around there, you say maybe my heat pump is locked out. Every heat pump will have a temperature sensor right by the unit that will sense the outdoor temperature. And they're more or less precise, but they're not identical. So if you're on the sunny side of the building or you're on the shady side of the building, you're actually going to get variances. So if your heat pump is on that shady side of the building, it might still work because it's still a little bit colder. However, if it's on the sunny side of the building and it's getting that sun right on it and it's around 60 degrees or so, that's when the heat pump says, no bueno, I cannot work in this condition. I'm just going to pause and sit here and do nothing. So check out that outdoor temperature when using a heat pump.